everybody, and welcome to another episode of Insufficient Friends. I'm Kevin, she's Stevie.
Hi.
And Steve, how was your week?
Good.
Good?
It finally feels like fall.
Yeah, I was, you said originally that you were going to go to the Mizzou game,
Oh.
and I was a little concerned about you.
Oh, I would
about
have
you
dressed
being in-
warm.
okay.
Like, I'm already, my fall outfits are happening.
Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever it first starts feeling like fall,
Mm-hmm.
are you like a lot of people, are you all into change, like, are you okay, now it's time for all the fall things, the fall scents? I know you're big into scents. We both like our Bath and Body Works and our wallflowers. Do you change up for
I've
the
had-
season?
Yeah, I've had I think a pumpkin one in for like a couple weeks. I
Oh,
think that
okay.
was what I changed to last time
Gotcha.
when I put the
So
new
you're
one in.
preparing.
So, yeah. But I don't necessarily, I like the fall scents. I can smell them all year round, though. It doesn't really bother me having them all year
Okay.
round. I usually use them more in the winter because that is more when they kind of coincide with. But I can use them all year round, too.
Definitely. I'm big into the scents for the seasons.
Okay.
So if I'm not ready for it, let's leave it. Let's keep it. Let's save it.
Save it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just more special that way.
So how was your week?
It's good.
Good. I just asked you that. Didn't
Yeah.
I? Yeah. Okay.
What about yours?
It's kind of early, so
It is.
I just got up like 10 minutes ago, so.
I know. I was going to text you and be like, what about like 8 or 9? But I was already up. Once I'm up, there's really no point.
Yeah, that's kind of the way I am.
was just
'Cause
ready
once
to-
I'm actually awake, I'm out of bed, and then it doesn't matter anymore. Like,
Exactly.
I'm not going back to bed. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So, speaking of Mizzou, they're doing really good this year.
Are they?
Yeah, they haven't lost yet.
Good.
They're 5-0.
Is that because we've played bad teams, or are we actually? I say we. I don't go there anymore. But.
So, they played Kansas State, which was ranked 16th at the time.
yes.
So that's a pretty
And
good.
isn't that like our biggest rival?
No.
KU. Is that KU?
That's KU. That's different. Yeah.
K-State and KU.
K-State.
Got it.
Which used to be somewhat of a rival because we were in the same conference. But, yeah, I mean, they're doing really good. We'll see how they do because they're playing LSU today. They're ranked both pretty close to each other.
LSU.
Yeah. Oh, good Lord. I see that you're drinking a Celsius.
I am.
Okay. So I haven't had one, and I probably won't ever have one because I'm not an energy drink person.
I think your heart would explode.
This has come up a couple times at work because there's a couple of the girls that drink them
Yeah.
and talk about how they are basically cocaine in a can.
No.
Maybe not quite that bad, but I've never had one, but they make it seem like it's even more than a normal energy drink.
Well, it depends what. Okay, I have a lot to say. Are you ready?
Sure, let's go.
You might be surprised, but I have things to say. So, it depends what they mean by regular energy drink, because now a lot of energy drinks actually have about the same amount of caffeine. It's 200 milligrams, which is that a lot? Yes, but if you drink caffeine every day, it's pretty normal. Doctors say like if you're pregnant, don't go over like 100. So this is not. It's really nothing crazy. If you have multiple, okay, you probably shouldn't do that. I've never had more than one, and I don't do. If I do this, I'm not getting a coffee. Like this is the only caffeine I'm having for the day.
Okay.
Alani's, I don't know if you're familiar with Alani's, same amount of caffeine.
Okay.
Monsters are typically the same amount of caffeine.
Okay.
Red Bulls are typically less. Red Bull is usually like 70 for about
But,
smaller than
but it's
this.
a smaller can too, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
but even this size is not 200. You don't really get to 200 until you have like those big, like maybe 20 ounce. I think this might be 12 or yeah, this is 12 ounces. Their 12 ounces might be like maybe 100, maybe 120.
Okay.
I'm not too sure. Amps, Rock Stars, these energy drinks that no one even drinks anymore unless you like
Grew up with them.
grew up or like skateboard or like
Okay.
it's kind of like a style that has kind of
Yeah.
phased out.
Okay.
Those are 200 to 300. Ghost, bucked up. There's so many that are like considered, because I think a lot of them are shifting towards being like, oh, take this as a pre-workout. So like, because pre-workout has 2 scoops of that powder, sometimes it's 500 milligrams of caffeine.
Yeah.
But people take that for, there's a lot of
Yeah.
other benefits to it, and that's a whole nother thing. But this, if you're taking it as a pre-workout, which I plan to work out after this,
Yeah.
that's why I'm having it. I'm not just drinking it first thing in the morning just to wake up. I
Yeah.
don't need it to function.
Okay.
That gets a little spooky if people just need them to like live their life.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I don't know what people are drinking it for. Does it
But-
taste good? Because the only time I've ever tried.
Some of them. Some of them are not good.
The only one time I've ever tried energy drinks, most of them that I have tried, which I've tried 4 or 5 of them, they have not tasted that good.
There is one. Do you think they're too sweet? What do you not like about them? Because I don't want to give you one and then you'd be like, this is terrible.
I just don't. I don't really know. Like it's been a long time since I've had them, so I can't really say because I don't really remember. But I don't remember. I just remember not liking them. I remember them not tasting good to me.
Did
So
you have a Celsius?
I didn't even know this existed until like a week ago. So
okay, no. Well, there's one right now that it tastes so good, and it's a fall flavor. It's like caramel apple, and it's called Witch's Brew, and it's by Alani, the other brand I was telling you about. That's what
Okay.
it looks like. If you ever see it and you just want to try it, I'm telling you,
I don't really want my heart to explode. So
that's the thing. If you're not used to caffeine, I don't know how this would affect you. I take it. I only really drink them if I know I'm going to work out. I'll
Okay.
drink coffee in the morning, and I've said on here many times, it's not really, the caffeine is great, but it's more just I like having a little sweet drink in the morning. It's kind of like more of a treat than it is to wake me up. It just makes me happy. I'm not really. I could drink other things in the morning. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's not like, oh, I need this to wake up or I can't
the
function.
only caffeine that I really drink is going to be tea, or if I have a soda every once in a while.
Yeah.
That's about
Which,
it.
and
So I
that's
don't
great,
do a lot
yeah.
of caffeine.
So this might be a lot for you.
Yeah, but I also have never really had the effects of like caffeine has never really done anything for me because there was. I mean, like I said, I have had energy drinks in the
Yeah.
past. Didn't do a thing. Didn't
Yeah.
notice a difference. Didn't.
We could
Didn't
all
know
just,
it's
it could be placebo. And we could all just be
could.
buying into this.
It could also.
Huge
there's
marketing
there's
scheme.
no telling. But
There's not.
also 200 or 100, 200 milligrams of caffeine is going to affect you differently than me because you're a lot
sure.
smaller than I am. So that's
This is true.
going to be a little bit different, but you also have a tolerance built up for it. So it's there's a lot of things that go into that. But
Yes. But all that being said, we're not sponsored by Celsius, so
we're not sponsored by anything.
it's
We're not sponsored by
fine.
anything.
It's okay.
Yeah, do whatever you want.
If you want me to say
Don't-
more, Celsius
don't-
sponsor us, and I'll say it's really good.
Don't take enough to make your heart explode, though.
No.
Don't do that. That's bad. It's not. It's dangerous. Just don't do that.
Yeah.
For legal reasons, don't.
Oh
take
yeah.
enough to
But
make
also,
your
I'm
heart
just
explode.
saying, I could say great things about Celsius if they want to sponsor us. But until then, it's fine.
Steve, I mean, that would be wonderful if we got big enough to get a sponsor. but
No one from Celsius is watching this.
nobody from hardly anywhere is watching or listening to this. So,
Sad but true. Speaking of sad but true,
yeah.
we took personality tests this
yeah,
week.
we did.
And I'm very intrigued. It was
you're
a good
intrigued?
test. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I always enjoy personality quizzes. I think they're fun. But this one was like, it made a lot of sense. And
Okay.
I'm very curious to see your results and mine, how they differ.
Okay. Yeah, go for it. What did
type?
Let's start by the type that
Yeah.
it gave you.
Can we guess what the other person had? Actually, I don't know. I don't know what all the options
because
are.
there's 16 of them.
Right. So the test we took is called 16 personalities. I think it's a pretty common one. A lot of people do it like if you have like new employees, like to get to know your team.
Which, by
the
the
type of
way,
people you're
I
working with?
will start by saying this. There was a study that came out
Mm-hmm.
earlier this year that said that the like biggest personality test that is used,
Yeah.
or the main one that's used for those types of things
Yeah.
for like businesses and things, is a total crock. Like it doesn't. There's
A
no
lot of them probably don't mean anything.
no accuracy or anything to it because you can't fit people into like a little
They're
group
and
like
because
that.
they're usually only like 4 options. I think like the biggest one is like it's like either like this 4-color one or it's like the type A, type B, type something else. And
Yeah.
usually, yeah, if it's like 4 options, okay, yeah, this isn't how accurate can you truly be.
Yeah.
The ones that I feel like
I mean, this one's a little like you got 16 different options
Right,
to
you have-
choose from, but 16 is a whole lot. It's still not very many when there's 1 point something or what, 8 billion people on the planet or whatever.
of course.
Yeah.
But I think this is a little bit more telling.
Yeah, it is.
And there are some. I like a. Have you ever done like a Clifton Strengths?
Mm-mm.
Or like tells you your top 5 strengths. So it's. I've only ever taken it for school and for like a program I was doing at work. You have to get a book and then the book has a code. So you have to. The books were supplied to us, but you have to buy the
Okay.
book and then use the code. You're only supposed to take it once in your whole life, and it basically, you get like 5 out of like 100 different strengths after taking this quiz, and it's a long quiz. And then those are the strengths you're supposed to like build off of. It's basically the whole idea is that we're taught to like be good at everything. You should be good at math and science and reading and this.
Yeah, but I don't think that's
But
possible
it's
for
like
most people.
exactly. So just here's what you're good at. Stop worrying about everything else. Capitalize on these and just grow in this area because that's truly what
Yeah.
you should. But anyway, that
Okay.
one I think works well.
I mean, if you're, yeah. Did you think that it matched? Like you said, you've taken it before.
Yeah.
Did you think that? Did you learn from it? Has it
Yeah,
helped you?
totally.
Okay.
I would say it's really good, and I use those strengths. And when people say, "What are your strengths?" I go back to that quite often.
Okay.
But
Okay. Anyway. So
do you want
I
to go?
got what is this? Logician?
Me too. Logistician or whatever.
Logician. Yeah. A logician, something like that.
I got the same thing.
Really
Yeah,
interesting.
it is interesting, but also not that surprising.
Okay.
So we're both pretty. I've my whole life have been told like,
It says innovative inventors with a unquenchable thirst for knowledge.
yeah. My dad has always told me I'm very logical.
Yeah, that kind of makes me. That sounds about right for me. Yeah,
Checks out for both of
I got
us.
that.
Yeah. Was there anything that because I went through like all the results, like all the different.
Yeah, I didn't read all the like long things about
Sure.
it.
But was there anything that stuck out to where either you were like, yes, this is 100%? Did you look at the things where they were like 65% this, 35% that?
Yep.
Okay, let's go
Do you
to
have
those.
those?
Yeah,
Okay.
I have got mine.
Okay, so the first one it had was mind, which was it's like introverted and extroverted.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So mine says that I'm 82% introverted.
Okay. I would say,
It's a lot.
but
But that's
I would
probably
say that
pretty
checks
accurate.
out. I got 65 introvert, 35 extroverted. And I agree with that for sure.
Okay, so you're less introverted
I'm
than I am.
still more on the introverted side, but yes, less than
Okay.
you. Which
that
I would
makes
say
sense,
that
'cause you go
might
out
just
and
be
do
my
things and-
age.
yeah.
That could be the time I have on my hands
Yeah.
versus you. But I think I heavily agree with 65% introverted. I would almost even. I'm surprised I didn't get more.
Okay, like more introverted?
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it also says that I'm 69% intuitive and 31% observant.
Oh, okay. I got 60% observant, 40% intuitive. So what does that? Okay, observant.
It says intuitive individuals are very imaginative, open-minded, and curious. They value originality and focus on hidden meanings and distant possibilities. That's what it says.
For intuitive,
So, did you get more
I
intuitive?
got more observant, 60%.
So, what does yours say for that? Because it should say observant.
I didn't get. I just wrote the thing down, and then I put like a little thing about it. So mine,
Did like pictures
right.
of each of them.
mine under the 60% and 40%, I just wrote a little note saying strong focus on what is actually happening, which that makes sense to me. So basically, you're more like there's something else that could be going on
Yeah.
instead of what's happening right in front of me. I oftentimes am like, it's black and white,
Okay.
I guess.
Okay. Interesting.
And then the thinking and feeling.
Yeah, 59% thinking, 41% feeling.
Okay, we're very close on this one. I was 56 thinking, 46 feeling.
Okay.
That one's tough. I do you ever feel like in life, have you ever had that struggle choosing between like head and heart? Like, oh, I really want to do this, but my head's telling me I just need to do this. Because I guess this would be like you struggle with that. We're pretty even on that, so we would.
Yeah, but I don't know that I ever have struggled with it. And like, I probably do every once in a while. Like thinking, oh, I should do this or I shouldn't do this, and then being like, but I want to do
What's
this.
logical?
Yeah.
And then
So I guess that's probably pretty.
But if we're both a little bit more on the thinking side, it's probably because we're logical and we go,
Yeah,
okay, this is what needs to happen.
the head wins out, unfortunately, sometimes.
It's like,
and then
yeah.
57% prospecting and 43% judging. That's what this
Oh,
tactics.
I got 10% prospecting, 90% judging.
Okay.
And I wrote down, so that's like decisive, thorough, highly organized, and that I value clarity and predictability, which 1,000%. I love a routine.
Okay, so this says prospecting individuals are very good at improvising and adapting to opportunities. They tend to be flexible, nonconformist who value novelty above stability.
I have no interest in adapting to change.
I mean, I'm very much a go with the flow, like whatever. Like,
that's
I don't care.
probably where we differ the most.
Well, yeah, if you got 10%,
90% judging,
90%
which
one.
also just sounds terrible.
Yeah, that doesn't sound.
90% of the time I'm
nice.
judging what, judging who, I don't know, but I probably am. Yeah, I love knowing what to expect.
Yeah.
I actually hate when things change, and I hate when my plans change.
I mean, everybody. I think everybody. Your plans change a lot for you to hate change, but
You're telling me.
I don't think anybody likes change. Like, because humans are naturally built to have a routine, so
Yes.
change is not something that you want.
Right, but I mean to a point of like, I feel bad saying this if the person's listening, but I was told a few days ago my weekend plans were canceled.
Okay.
And like, I'm still not over it. I'm still like so sad and just like, what is my life? I had this whole plan. I had everything worked out. I was going to wear this outfit. I was going to do, and I was just so excited to like have this weekend, and it's canceled. So now I've just been like sitting and being like, what do I do with my time? And that's like to a point of, oh, I just can't move on. Like, I can't just get past the fact that my plans changed like a normal human.
Yeah.
I just sit there and I'm like, why did they cancel? Why this? Well, what am I going to do now? Do I have any friends? Why can't I come up with something to do? What's wrong with me? And
Do I have any friends?
it's just this whole cycle, So,
Good Lord. Okay. Well.
we'll work on that, I guess.
Sure. Okay.
But I'm just saying it's checking out so far.
Okay.
Everything is making sense.
And then the other one, the last one that I have, it looks like is it says identity. 61% assertive and 39% turbulent.
Okay, I'm 63% turbulent, 37% assertive, which the notes I took are basically saying I'm self-conscious and sensitive.
I mean, yeah, that checks out.
And
This says,
and that's all, folks.
yeah. I'll say what this one says: assertive individuals are self-assured, even tempered, and resistant to stress. They refuse to worry too much, and tend to be self-confident when striving to achieve goals. Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. I don't stress about things, and I kind of just, meh.
God, that must be nice.
I mean,
That sounds
it doesn't
lovely.
like.
It's so strange we can both be the same type and have that
still
huge
different-
difference
yeah.
right there. That's the one. That's a big one too.
So, and I think the last one,
Yeah.
or the stressing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. I think that, I mean, that comes with a little bit of not having anxiety and things like that. Like I don't have things like that, which makes a difference.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not an anxious person. Luckily, I feel bad for people who do have really bad anxiety. I know several of them, but with the logical thing, like the whole logician thing
Yeah.
or whatever it says, I've over the years gotten less and less to where I have stress or anything because I don't like it. There's so like I know in my head that there's so few things that are actually going to make that big of a difference.
Right.
So what's the point of stressing over? Like stressing over it just makes it worse.
Yeah.
You do something. If you do it right, great. Do it again. If you do it wrong, screw up. Do it right the next time and move on.
Sure.
It's very simple. In my head, it's not as simple for I know.
And I can hear that and comprehend it.
I get it.
But it's very situational, the things I
Yeah.
have, like, what's the word? Like, it's not logical. It's like, what do people say when they have like a fear and it's like probably never gonna happen, but it's a
Irrational fear?
irrational. The things that I stress about that are just irrational, I just can't. They're irrational. I can't get a grip on them, and I just haven't learned that yet. I'm sure I will.
I mean, everybody has fears.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, everybody has irrational fears too.
Yeah.
Like fears of things that are never going to hurt you.
Exactly.
One of those, and I this is the logical thing in me again, and I'll mention one of these. One of them that I think is interesting that people always say is, I'm afraid of the dark.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, big anxiety.
So
that's just anxiety right
that's,
there.
That's like nobody really likes the dark because you can't see anything.
Yeah.
I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of what could be in the dark.
Sure.
That's the problem. Like that's where the difference is, and maybe people think that the same way. But when you say it, I'm afraid of the dark, it sounds like you just don't like the darkness.
Right.
But I'm afraid of what could be in the dark. Like if I'm in my apartment and it's dark, I know there's nothing here. Like
Exactly. But it's a little spooky. You can like easily scare yourself.
I mean, so this is a weird little quirk that I have.
Okay.
I understand that, but I have very light sensitive eyes. I have for forever. So an LED light, like one little tiny like indicator light on my television or something, lights up the room enough to where I can see it like it's daylight. I do not need if there's like if the moon is like half to full, I can see everything outside just fine.
Okay.
Like I can see a lot in the dark, which is weird. And it's always been kind of weird, but I can see a lot of things without having a lot of light. So when people always make fun of me too because I don't like turning on lights. I don't have lights on most of the time when I'm at work. Everybody's like, "Why are you a vampire?" I'm like,
Yeah.
"I just don't. I
You
can
don't need that much
see
light.
without the lights,
Sure.
and I don't like having the lights on because it's too bright."
I do relate to that in some ways. Not complete dark, but I prefer natural light and I prefer least amount of lights just from doing day-to-day tasks. So I get that. But I think the dark, like you said, it's like what could be in the dark.
Yeah.
To me, that's
I mean,
like
if you go into the woods and it's dark, you're afraid of what's in the woods,
Exactly.
not necessarily the darkness.
yes.
The darkness makes it worse because you can't see what's in the woods, but you're more afraid of what's in the woods
Yeah.
than you are the actual darkness.
And to me, the dark is equal to like the future. I'm not scared of just every day coming and going and getting older. I'm scared of what could possibly happen in the future that I have no control of. The same way people are not really scared of the dark, but what could be in the dark. That's that's like my irrational thing is the future's not planned and I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I wish I could just be like, okay, well, on this day I have this and this day, and then at this day I finally get, I don't know, but the fact that it's not planned out is what worries me.
Yeah, I don't plan out anything though. So, like, very few things do I plan.
90% judging, routine.
Is that okay?
That's the one where they were like highly organized, I need predictability. I love predictability.
Yeah, I mean,
Decisive, thorough.
sorry, I cleared my throat. Microphone. That's not a professional thing to do.
Nah.
Yeah, 57% Violet was 43% judging.
Exactly.
So that makes
Checks out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that was fun.
Yeah. One last thing on the personality quizzes, did you look at, towards like the bottom of everything, they told you people, like famous people who are also the same type? Did you check that out at all?
Yeah, but I don't remember what it said. I kind of looked through a couple of them, but I don't remember what it said. I wish I would have saved that too, because I kind of forgot.
I don't know what this says about me, but all I have written down for that part is George Bush with a heart.
Okay.
That's the
which
only
one?
W, the
Okay.
second,
The younger one.
son.
Okay.
who I love. I don't know why.
Have you ever seen him like his like paintings and things?
Oh my god, yes, and he's so cute. I love him.
It's kind of fun.
Did you know my 4th birthday was George Bush themed?
Wait, really?
Yeah, because I think
Okay.
that's when he was running again. That was his second. He was like about to
Yeah.
2004 would have been, or he just got reelected.
Yeah, because in 2004 he would have been, yeah, he would
Going on
have
his
just
second
been
term.
reelected, because he would have been elected at the
And I
beginning of
loved
November.
him as a kid. And I don't, not for any political reason. I
Yeah.
just liked him. Like,
just
I would
liked
just
him?
watch him on TV as like a 3-year-old.
I mean, dude can dodge a shoe.
He can. I've seen that. And he's just, I don't know, he just seems like a sweet old man.
Yeah. Yeah. I get that. So Stevie, this week,
Yes. Oh my God.
what?
No, what are you about to say? About to talk about the movie?
No.
Oh, never mind then. But continue. I just have a lot to say about the movie this week.
Okay. Anyway, so no, we didn't push the button. I didn't play the sound thing.
Well, we don't always. Sometimes we
it's-
just, when we come to a lull, we're like, okay, this week we watched this.
But this week I was upset with Missouri, the state of Missouri. People in the state of Missouri. Because of Halloween candy. What does this look?
I just don't know what to expect.
So, do you want to guess what Missouri's apparently favorite Halloween, like the number one Halloween candy is in the state of Missouri?
Sure.
And we're the only state that has this as the number one candy, if I remember correctly.
Is this a seasonal candy or is it?
It's for Halloween.
Okay, I'm gonna go candy
It's,
corn.
it's not. No, it's not a seasonal candy.
Oh, it's
an all-year
not.
round
Okay,
candy.
okay.
No.
Then never mind on the candy corn. Oh gosh, yeah, I'll probably be disappointed too because I am a candy. I consider myself a connoisseur of candy. So if you're disappointed by it, I'm sure I will be equally as upset. I'm trying to think like what people, something that would be disappointing. Is it a chocolate thing?
Yes.
Okay. And disappointing? Something would be disappointed by. I wouldn't really be disappointed by any chocolate unless it were a Milk Dud
Nope.
or a Whopper.
No.
Okay. I don't know if I'll be
So-
disappointed then.
What I saw was almond joys.
That's my favorite candy.
What?
Have we never talked about this?
What?
That is my all-time favorite candy. I'm a grandma. I'm a 95-year-old woman living in a 22-year-old body. Yeah. I love Almond Joys. Have you ever had one?
Yes, I don't like coconut and I don't like nuts.
Okay. Well, if you don't like coconut, that's tough. Sorry. Tough luck. Coconut is one of the best things to ever exist. It's one of the best toppings. It's lovely. It's delicious. It's delectable. And okay, that little tiny almond, people get so in a fit about that almond. They're like, I don't like chocolate and I don't like nuts together. Literally, take it off. It is just on top. It's not mixed in. It's not chopped up. You can easily avoid the almond, in my opinion.
See, I guess I've never.
But the creaminess of the coconut inside with the chocolate, it's
See, I don't-
so good.
I don't like coconut though at all.
Then that's tough. I don't know what to tell you, and that makes sense. But no, that's so funny. We've never gotten to
so
this topic.
That's one that I saw. I saw that a couple days ago. Now I'm
Good
looking
job,
at another,
Missouri.
I'm looking at another one now that says
Okay.
Tootsie Pops.
Oh, that's a disappointment.
I like Tootsie Pops.
I don't like, and that's fine for people to like that. I get it. I don't like hard candy. So suckers, I'm out.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's fine.
Same way you don't
So-
like coconut. Like I
so
get it, but not for
Almond
me.
Joy is your favorite candy bar.
Yes, I love Almond Joys. Since the day I had one, they've been my favorite.
Okay.
I think I mean, clearly you're surprised, but like a lot of people like them.
Yeah, I guess.
A lot of people hate them. It's kind of a love or hate thing.
So I have a question:
Okay.
if the Almond Joy it has one almond, or is it like multiple almonds just sitting?
Well,
on
if you
top?
just get the little like
It's just one.
if you just get the one, yeah. If you get like the candy bar at like a gas station, sometimes it's like 2 with 2 in each little
Okay.
thing. But yeah, they make one where it's just one, and you can easily just like avoid that.
So I'm guessing you'd like the almond then.
I do. I don't. I don't
Because I was
mind
gonna
it.
say the other one is Mounds, which is the same thing without the almonds,
But
right?
it's dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate.
Oh, it is.
Mounds are, yeah.
Okay. I haven't eaten either one because I know they both have coconut, and I do
Mm-hmm.
not like coconut at all. I don't like texture. I don't like taste. I don't like flavor.
How is there
not the same
a
thing.
taste? And like for real, like do you ever have like coconut flavored anything? Have you ever like
Yeah, I've had it before, and I don't
you
like it.
still don't like that too? Okay.
The big thing though is the texture. I do not like the texture. of
That
coconut
makes
at
more
all.
sense. A lot of people, I feel like that's the number one reason why people aren't into anything coconut is the texture. But I have no
I've
problem.
had coconut milk. I've had coconut. I've had coconut on things. I've had coconut in things. I don't like it. I've had coconut milk straight from a coconut.
Well,
don't-
okay.
I don't like it. I don't like the flavor, and I don't like the texture of it. And I just don't like it.
You just don't like good things, and that's okay.
Sure, let's go
I
with
just
that. Let's go with that. Kevin doesn't like good things. Where is that?
title of
There it
the
is.
ep. That's so funny that we've
don't-
never discussed this before.
I just don't.
And I've tried just about, at least American candy, I've tried just about every single chocolate bar out there. And
So do you have a guess at what the number one nationwide most popular Halloween candy is?
I'm going to ask the same question. Is it something that's around all year or is it a seasonal
No, it's all year. All these are all. Only one of these on the top 10 is not, and that's candy corn. Of course,
Yeah.
anybody could think that candy corn would be the one that is not. What other candies are not all year round? I mean,
Well-
because we're talking Halloween, so peeps aren't really going to matter at this one.
Right. Or just like some people are specifically like the Reese's that come in the shapes. They're
Oh,
like,
see, I
oh, I like
consider that-
pumpkin Reese's.
But I consider that that's a
that's
Reese's.
what.
They're
But
gonna
candy
count that
corn
as a
was
Reese's.
mostly. But there's the pumpkin candy corn, the regular candy corn. You know, people.
But it's all
there's
candy corn.
Halloween stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, what do you think the number one is? This didn't surprise me really that much.
It's not surprising. Reese's or Snickers.
Reese's.
Yeah, Reese's are a big popular one.
Snickers is not actually on the top 10.
I don't know why. I always thought Snickers was kind of like. I always look at it as like no one doesn't like a Snickers. It's kind of like the number one.
I don't like a Snickers.
You don't like
No,
Snickers?
because I don't like nuts in my. I don't like the salty sweet
Oh,
mixture,
that's
Steve. We've
right.
talked about this.
I don't even consider. Okay, yeah, I guess that would be sweet and salty.
I know I'm a terrible human being.
No, but I just would never. I never look at a Snickers and go, "Oh, this is a sweet and salty treat." I don't know why. I just consider it sweet. Sweet and salty would be like chocolate covered pretzel. I don't know. Those little teeny tiny peanuts in there I don't even hardly taste them. So
Yeah.
you don't like a payday?
no.
Oh, I love a payday. That's an underrated candy bar. That might be my second favorite.
My
Next to
favorite
Almond Joy.
candy bar. My favorite candy bar is a Twix.
That's a good one too. I love candy bars so much. Kit Kats are good.
What about just candies that aren't like not the candy bar, like thinking Skittles and gummy candies and things like that.
I'm a
You don't like that?
chocolate girl all day.
chocolate. Okay.
I will go with a sour gummy if I really just don't want chocolate for some reason. But even if I'm gonna get something like a little candy, it's gonna be like an M&M or a something M&M covering.
So
with
I have
something in it,
a
caramel.
controversial I have a controversial actually best. So Twix is probably one of my favorite candy
Yeah.
bars, but probably my favorite candy, and a lot of people are gonna not like this,
I know.
is a York peppermint patty.
Actually, okay. I thought you were gonna say something else, but I don't mind mint. But that's extreme.
Yeah, I
To
love
be
mint.
your favorite
Yeah, I
also
love it.
is crazy.
Love it.
Interesting. Do you
I
like?
know people who thought like it's eating toothpaste. It's like eating toothpaste, and I'm like,
But that's
mean-
like some people just hate mint ice
Yeah,
cream, mint anything,
I
and
get
I
that.
don't mind that. I
love
love a
mint.
thin mint. I love mint ice cream. It's so good. Your peppermint patties are just like they're extreme. They're a little out there.
love them, love them, love them, love them.
How do you feel about Smarties?
No
Little,
problem
like,
with Smarties.
chalky-
They're
okay.
kind of they. I don't really think about them that often. Like,
Me either. I enjoyed them much more when I was a kid.
yeah, I did too.
Have you ever had a Necco wafer? or heard of one?
I I remember this was a big thing a few years ago because the company that makes them went out of business, and another company took it over.
Oh, okay.
So like
They're still
they
being made.
kind of went away for a short period of time, and then they came back.
Oh no! What are all the
now-
old men gonna do?
Well, see, I don't know that I've ever had a Necco wafer, but I want to think that it is even more chalky than a Smartie
And less sweet.
and less sweet.
More bad, less good. And it's my dad's favorite. Shout out to my dad.
Okay.
And I also think he enjoys like black licorice.
Yeah, I can do the licorice flavor in some things, like if it's like very small. But I'm not a black licorice person. I'm not a licorice person anyway. I don't like Twizzlers or anything
Me
like that. 'Cause
either.
I don't like the texture and I don't really like the flavor either.
I always, as a kid, if someone pulled out a bag of Twizzlers, I just could not understand. I couldn't relate to them. I could not
It
understand
just
it.
tastes like to me it's just like eating wax,
Yes.
and I'm not a fan of that.
And for what? What is the flavor? Like, I'm not getting
Isn't it
strawberry.
cherry or strawberry or something.
I think
don't know.
original is cherry. They came out with the strawberry. Could not tell you a single
Yeah,
difference.
my mom likes Twizzlers. I don't.
Some people, yeah, they love them.
don't know.
I can't get
I'm not a
behind it.
Twizzlers person.
I don't like Swedish Fish.
No.
I don't like most gummies unless they're sour. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with gummy bears, but like usually the gummies that I'm gonna eat are sour, like
Yeah.
like gummy worms or something like that. Yeah. But they're all the sour ones. Sour Patch Kids. Do
Oh
like
yeah,
Sour Patch
love it. I do like Sour Patch Kids, and I like the Sour Patch watermelon, the strawberry they have. I like all the different types of that. I like those gummy worms with the sour.
Kids. Yeah, the sour worms. Yeah.
Yeah. But if I'm gonna, I say this like I'm like 50. I'm at an age where I really try not to eat candy. So if I'm going to indulge, it's gonna be chocolate, and it's gonna be with caramel or with peanut butter, or it's gonna be something of that sort. I'm not gonna be like, I'm not gonna just chew on something. I don't know. Gummies are like whatever. If I'm gonna have candy, it's gonna be chocolate because that's what I want most.
See, sometimes I like the fruit flavors though, in candies and things like
I
that.
could do without.
Because I like fruit, so.
I mean,
like fruit
me
flavored
too,
things.
but not
Not in your candy.
not in candy. I don't care for pies. I don't care for
Yeah, I
any type
know.
of
I just-
fruit that is meant to
love-
be in a dessert.
I love
Fruit and dessert
pies.
don't mix to me.
Yeah.
Love fruit, love dessert, not together.
I love pie. Apple pie is one of the best things ever. And
It might be the worst kind, actually.
it's so good. I love an apple pie.
No. Soggy, warm fruit is like, I will die on that hill. It's terrible. And I don't know what we've been brainwashed to believe in our society to think it's good. But it just is not.
Soggy warm fruit. So what about
Try me.
pumpkin pie? Do you like pumpkin pie? That's a little different.
Kind of over it. I think when I
mean,
tried
just
to
have
like it.
I just have it in the fall.
Yeah, I tried to like it. I like pecan pie.
Nope, don't like the nuts. Yeah.
But no, pumpkin, I think because they served it at school on Thanksgiving and they'd always put whipped cream on it. And I would just try, like, this looks good. I want to enjoy this, but I never quite got there. I do enjoy pumpkin flavor, but not really pumpkin
Do
pie.
you like chocolate pie? Because I do not. Or like key lime pie or things like that. Key lime's got kind of, that's the lime.
I've never really had that many pies. I like coconut cream pie.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure I would like a chocolate pie. For sure, I must. But I
You
don't think
love
I've had
chocolate,
one.
so-
I've had a turtle pie, which is just the ultimate, like everything I love in this world, all in wrapped in one.
I don't know.
But
I can't believe that Almond Joy is one of your favorite candy.
I can't believe we've never discussed that.
Yeah.
We've talked about candy and food probably more than we've talked about anything else.
Yeah.
Before the podcast, on the podcast, after the that's something we have talked about many, many of times working
Yeah.
together. I can't
I-
believe I've never brought up that I love Almond Joys. Our boss gave me if I was getting a prize, I would ask I wanted Almond Joys
I guess I never paid attention to that.
or maybe it was at a time we weren't working together.
Speaking of that, this is the salty sweet thing. There was a while back where I guess we had won something or like I don't remember what happened, but somebody had sent around like candy from the main bank.
Uh-huh.
So and they they were like, what does everybody want? And I wasn't there, and she's like, oh, I know this. I know what Kevin wants. He wants the salty sweet together.
She could not have been more wrong. Oh my god, if I was there, I would have laughed
I ended
so
up with a
hard.
payday. Which
Were
is
you
like
able to trade with anyone?
the most. No, I just think I just gave it to somebody. I
Ah.
didn't care. Like I again don't care. Like it's not that big of a
So
deal.
funny that she thought that. Like, cause
She was so like for sure too.
she's definitely listened, just off a
Not
couple
quite
words.
enough.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
The amount of
so
times you've literally said, "I do not like salty and sweet." That's
Yeah.
so funny that she thought
I
that.
I
God, I
just
love
don't
her.
like very few salty sweet things. Like
Mm-hmm.
there are, if you get like a salted caramel, that's a little bit different, but I don't like the salty crunch like the pretzels and things like that all mixed in there.
And we don't always have to agree,
Yeah.
because that couldn't be further from my thoughts, my truth.
Okay.
All right. Oh God. Did you watch the movie?
Of course I watched the movie.
Don't say okay, Mister. A few weeks ago,
Yeah,
didn't
I
watch
know.
the movie. Of
I know,
course, it's a
but
valid question.
It's a valid question, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, yes, I watched the movie.
Where do I start? Where do I begin?
It's a great movie.
Probably. I knew I had seen this when I was in like high school, and I don't know if maybe I just didn't really pay as much attention to it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember it being nearly as intense or sad
Oh, yeah.
or
It's
emotional. Like I knew
terrible.
I knew like the main storyline, and I guess people know it's spoilers at this point. I knew it was like a jailbreak story, and I knew he was wrongly convicted, and I knew, but everything just that happens in that movie, I just did not remember all the really, really sad stuff. And I almost want to say this might be the best movie we've watched thus far in terms of just the story and
I
how
mean, it's a really good movie.
emotional it made me. In my
Okay.
opinion, it might be
It
my
made you
favorite.
emotional.
Oh my god, dude! Like, I would be watching it and I'd be like, oh, this is the part where like you cry, and then there'd be another part where I cried, and then another part where I
How many
cried.
times did you cry in the movie?
Mm. When I say cry, I mean I don't. I
Yeah.
just
No,
got
I know.
got really,
Yeah.
really, really sad, and like
Yeah.
the most was Brooks when
Okay.
Brooks,
Yeah. That's understandable.
because I just love Sweet Old Men, and I know he was in prison, so he probably did something bad. But imagine being locked away when like cars are being invented, and you walk into the world not knowing people drive cars everywhere. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh yeah, it's. I mean that
50
that
years.
institutional thing, like that is actually a thing. Like
I mean,
being
right.
institutionalized and not knowing what to do when you get out. Because
Right.
I
I'm
mean,
familiar with that
you
concept.
you have like think of how much things change. Just think of how much things have changed just in the last 10 years.
Right.
I mean, if you were in prison for 50, there's no, especially at that time, even more than now.
Yeah.
Like,
Before we get to the other things that made me sad. Well, anytime whenever I can't think of the main character's name. Andy.
Andy, yeah.
Whenever Andy first realized like, oh, someone has confessed to this crime that I've been in prison for and brought that to the warden, and they were just like, no, we're keeping you here, basically. That was really, I don't remember that being so like upsetting to me. The first time I watched it, that was really, that made me so mad. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I know he's gonna get out.
Well, it's not even that it's not even that he took it to the warden. It's that the warden just said, "Yeah, we're going to keep you here." Then threw him in the hole.
Oh,
Then
another month.
Then killed the guy who
oh my
actually
God.
was
got his high school. Like,
yeah, killed the
GD,
kid who was the one who had
found
the
out. Ugh,
like it doesn't
makes me sick.
yeah.
So okay, the story. This was one of those stories where I'm like, this has to be based on something. It was almost just too, the events just made me think like this has to be based on something. And I looked it up and I think I came to the conclusion it was inspired by a few things. But do you know the book The Count of Monte Cristo?
Mm-hmm.
So that's a
Great.
jailbreak story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Pretty famous
Yeah.
in history, which was inspired by something else, which don't have to get into all that, but it's a super old book. And in the movie, when they're in the library, they make a point to be like,
Yeah,
what's this? The Count of Monte Cristo?
Yeah.
So I thought that was
Maybe that
really
was-
interesting.
Yeah.
It was kind of like a callback of, hey, this inspired this movie. But it's also inspired, there was like another book that Stephen King wrote that I think they found some inspiration from there. There's also a Shawshank Redemption. I mean, this movie was a book first.
Yeah.
So just thought that was an interesting little tidbit that they referenced Count of Monte Cristo. And
Yeah.
they're both very famous jailbreak stories.
Yeah, it's based on a Stephen King book called Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption. Like,
Right.
It's a
But I was wondering what that was based on, and that's what I looked up.
Oh,
and I think
okay.
there is some ties, but
Probably.
it's very loosely tied. I mean, there's a ton of jailbreak stories out there, but those are probably two of the most historically famous ones.
Yeah.
But okay, you
And there's
say
a lot
things.
of there's kind of a lot of there's some similarities too. Like
Yeah, the
you have
digging
two-
out
you have
and
you have digging out. You have two guys that are kind of like really close
Teaming up,
friends that are It's just I mean, there's differences, but there's a good and
Right.
also the Count of Monte Cristo. The breakout is very little of the story.
Yes.
But it is a really good story though. But it is
Right.
a lot of people think of it as a jailbreak story because it's one of
Yeah,
the
and
big
it's
things in it.
out of the like 1,700 pages of the story of the book, that's maybe like the first 200. So
Yeah.
it's not the entire story.
No, but it's good. But yeah, Shawshank is a really good movie. The music is really good too in it. It also brings emotions when you're listening to it. Yeah. But it is yeah. I feel like Tim Robbins he was in several things back in the day like this, and he was in a couple comedies too, and then I kind of feel like he just kind of fell off the face of the earth.
I did look him up because I thought,
He's been in some stuff recently, but it's nothing that I've ever even realized was being made.
yeah, and it kind of made me, I was surprised at how little I knew his, like, what he's been in.
Yeah.
Because I thought, surely after this movie came out, people just,
I've seen
him up.
Well, I've seen him in several things. I like Tim Robbins. I like the things that I've seen him in.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of the same way. I feel like what's the dude's name that
Maybe he
was in the
got
Mummy movies?
typecasted? Oh, I don't know.
He just won an Oscar like a couple years ago for The Whale.
Oh, the big guy. He got
Brendan
really
Fraser.
big. Yeah, for
Brendan
that
Fraser.
movie, he got really big for it.
Yeah, him. They both kind of just like, and Brendan Fraser has talked about it in the past. I
Yeah.
don't know if Tim Robbins ever has.
He's had like a ton of. He's kind of come back up because of that, I think.
Yeah, he has. But yeah, it was. I do like the Shawshank Redemption. It is a very good movie.
There was just I just remember watching it being like, just so many lines, which sounds almost like, oh, I've never watched a good movie before in my life, but I literally thought like, I need to write this down. Like these words they're saying are so clever. Like, how did someone come up with all of this? I kept thinking that the whole movie. How did someone write this whole thing? And I know like there's probably a lot of people and ideas that go into it, but there's never like a moment where you're not tying something back to something else. There's not a metaphor. There's nothing that was just, oh, we need to fill time, I suppose. Nothing made me feel like, oh, we could have done without this. Every little detail felt like it was very important and prominent to the storyline.
Yeah. Well, and that
Still
also
get
kind
that
of
all the time.
the very end when Red is explaining how Andy broke out too. That
Mm-hmm.
kind of takes you back through the movie and shows you like
Yes.
why all those things matter.
Yes, it was very, very well done. And just, I mean, yeah, he was the stuff he was put through, I can't imagine. You can't imagine what that would do to your brain, being in there, not only wrongfully, but the way they've treated people in that prison, being in, solitary for 2 months with no light and nothing to, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't even picture how that would feel. And obviously it's a movie, but
Yeah, I'm
sure it happened,
super
but
far away from.
I don't know if I could. I don't know what this says about me. I don't think I have the willpower to. I don't think I would have hope to get out the way he did. I don't think I would ever think, once I'm out of here, I'm going to do all this stuff. I mean, obviously, he was very smart and did a million strategic things that led up to him being able to get out and actually have money and a life. Being in that hole for 2 months, I think I would just be like, there's no way. I'd give up.
But I think you see right there the same thing in Red. Like, he's just like, yeah, I'm here. He tells Andy multiple times, like, hope is a dangerous thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can't hope in here. This place will kill you. It will crush you.
It's true. And I could, yeah. I relate more to that than Andy's character in any situation.
Yeah. It's a really good movie.
But is it vigilante is what he kind of is in the end? Is that what it is, where he, like, exposes the bad people and
yeah,
takes
I
out?
guess you could consider
I guess,
that,
like,
yeah.
the vigilante part, that saves it all for me. But I just don't think I could ever get there. But it makes the movie. You're just like, I couldn't sleep at night if that part wasn't in there.
So if it ended on, like, one of those movies that just ends with, like, him dying in
sadness.
prison or something, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be terrible.
You wouldn't be able to
I'd be
sleep.
sick. Yeah.
Okay.
But the way he writes that letter, he's just he's so smart. The story is incredible. How they thought of every detail, and how he knew he was gonna be able to write that letter to Red and said, "Go here. This is exactly where it's gonna be. This is where I'm gonna be." I don't think I'm just, like, in awe of this movie. This movie deserves to be on this list.
Okay.
Much higher, I'd say, and more than.
Where's it at on the list?
I think it's like second page. I don't even think it's. I think because I remember checking. It's not. I mean, like, definitely bottom half of the list. And I know a lot of the movies on the list are just because for the time. But 9 out of 10 times I'd watch Shawshank Redemption over any of these movies.
Yeah. And I have a question about this.
Okay.
So I already owned the Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
I realized that when I went to watch it, that it just, like, I clicked because I usually just search on my thing to, like, see where it's at, if it's on Netflix or whatever. And then when I just clicked Amazon, it just automatically started playing.
Nice.
So I already had bought it. Didn't realize I had already bought it, but I had. At what point, when we've been doing this, have you bought a movie versus just renting it?
I haven't, and I won't.
Haven't bought any movies? You just rent all of them?
It's like these movies are $20. I'm just gonna watch them once, most likely.
See, I've seen a couple on here that weren't $20. That was like 10 or something.
And
if I know I'm gonna watch it, like, I bought Jaws, because, like, I know I'll watch Jaws in the future again.
Yeah, like, Jaws was, like, on. That one was free.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't. Maybe I did.
I think it was on a site that I think it was like Tubi, which is like.
Oh yeah, I don't want to watch. Nothing against Tubi, but I usually don't want to watch ads. So.
It's a very, like, Walmart version of a streaming service. So.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, everybody's gonna make money. I get it. But I pay for the services to not have ads, so I'm not gonna.
Sure. I get that, but I just whatever.
But yeah, I'm about half of these I would say I buy, and then the other half I just am like, okay, I don't need to buy this. I'll just rent this one. It depends on what. I guess it depends on if I think I'm going to watch it again.
Yeah.
Or not.
I'm just not. Funny enough, because we talk about movies every week, I'm really not a movie person. I think I've said that. I'm a show girl. I like to watch shows, or I like to
think
watch.
Shawshank is on this list, Steve.
Do we have different lists? It's on a list.
What list did you print?
Whatever AFI said was the one where you go and check them off. I literally just looked at that list and put them into Excel.
Okay, I guess I here. Okay.
But they do have many lists. They come out with different lists.
They
all the
do.
time.
I've always been looking at the original list.
And how do you know? Like, okay, can I see?
Yeah.
Because then we have an issue. Because I've just been looking at that same list the whole time, and that's where I'm getting all my suggestions. Guys, we might have a big issue.
I mean, it's fine, but oh, there it is. Okay, so it was on the, it's on the 10th anniversary edition of the 100 movies list.
So what are those movies?
On this one, there's like, I think Titanic is on this one. It's not on the original one. Shawshank is on this one. It's not on the original one.
I mean, okay. Is this so? But can we stick with that list though?
Yeah, I don't care. Like, I just
feel like-
wondered which one we were going with. I've always been looking at the other one.
I can look back and see if there's like how close it is.
I mean, it's pretty close. It's got a number of them. Like Casablanca's still on here. Singing in the Rain.
I think we should go with
Schindler's
this list that I have here because one, I took the time to make it and print it out. But
Wait, did you actually type this out yourself?
yes.
Why didn't you just go in here and hit print?
I didn't like the layout.
Okay.
And I thought at first I was doing a whole thing at first. I was like, okay, we'll have the category. We could rank them in this. Because with Excel, you can like, I was having different columns. I was like, oh, maybe we can rank it from like 1 to 10. We could do this. So I was just typing everything in because I thought we could like customize it a little more. And then I didn't like how it looked because I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. But
Yeah,
if it's
I
not,
think they're really close. Just the 10th anniversary edition, they kind of swapped out some of the movies for like newer movies because
better movies, maybe, perhaps.
Toy Story is on the other, like the 10th anniversary one. Blade Runner's on there. Like some of this stuff wasn't on the original.
Well, I think we should go with this list because I think, as we've mentioned on here before, some of the older movies don't live up.
Yeah, I mean, it's, when they updated, there's a reason that they updated. So, that's fine with me. I don't care. I just was looking at a different list.
So what's AFI's 100 years, 100 movies? That's something different too.
No, I think that's the original list.
Because this has like Toy Story and Blade Runner. I think they just genuinely, they say just what's new. I think they just do update it.
Okay, so I was just looking at the old list, I guess.
Yeah, this one has Shawshank. I think that this is just an updated version, but they have the older versions out there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're fine.
Go.
Everything's fine.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, we're getting close.
What?
We've been going for a long time.
Yeah. I mean.
Sorry, everyone.
I mean, Steve, we've talked about this. If they don't want to keep listening, they can always. Please don't turn it off.
No, you can't turn it off.
They can always stop or come back.
Jump back in.
They can always jump back.
Jump back in.
Don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. And we'll talk to you guys next week.
Bye.